We are back with another review, and today we are checking out some of the Nintendo pickups that we got. And without further ado, let's show you what we got for the NES. And I do have some variants and some cool things I wanted to kind of point out to you as we come across them, but we're going to zip through the cartridges that we got. So let's check them out. So we're going to start off with some pack-in titles that we have here for the original Nintendo. Obviously we have the original Mario Brothers and Duck Hunt or pack-in, which you can see here in the back, featured on the action set. And we have two different variants here just to hop off into it. At visual appearance, they look very similar, if not the same, to the untrained eye, but you can clearly see we have some definite differences here. This border, this white border, the Nintendo seal of quality on both of these. So right off the bat, we do have a little bit of a difference in regards to the pack-in title. Top is the same. Both are 3-screw, but definitely different in regards to their visual appearance on the label. So some of those little subtle things are some things that we'll point out as we go through some of the games that we have here. But these are the pack-in titles that came with the original consoles for the NES. And we got another pack-in one. We have another variant here where we have Fire Mario is with a white suit here with a red shirt, and then we have the inverse here. So that's a little bit of a nice subtle difference, but everything else, the Duck Hunt logo, the World Track Meet logo are the same. The World Official Seal of Quality here for Nintendo is not on this particular game, and the top is the same. So the Mario little graphic is different, and the seal of quality is going to be the difference on those particular pack-in titles. And we have a World-Class Track Meet by itself. We have Dragon Warrior, so not a official pack-in title, but if you did purchase an NES back in 88 or 89, you did get an offer for a year of Nintendo Power for $1. And with that $1 and that year subscription, you got a free copy of Dragon Warrior. So basically, for $1 and buying a Nintendo, you got a free copy of Dragon Warrior. So yeah, I think that was really awesome. And Dragon Warrior in itself is an amazing title with everything that it came with. It came with a lot of explanatory information on how to actually play the game. You got like a map of everything. It explained the bad guys in the game. They didn't leave you, clueless in regards to getting this game. And it was the first RPG that I actually delved into, and that pack-in material that came with the Dragon Warrior game really helped out traverse the game and to actually get into the foundational elements of what RPGs were all about. So for me, that was my official entry into it, and I'll never forget that pack-in title. So we got some more Mario titles here that came in with the Nintendo console. We got Super Mario Brothers 2 here. We got Super Mario Brothers 3, but we got two variants of it. The label's actually different. This one's more orange, this one's more actual bright yellow. Now, if you check the top, it's actually the reverse. This one looks more orange and this one looks more bright yellow, but it's very different when you look at the front compared to the top. So just two different variants of Super Mario Brothers 3. One of these actually is the challenge set version, the box challenge set version of Super Mario Brothers 3, which you can see here featured in the background. The challenge set version comes with this tape that says obviously challenge set on it, which sealed every single box of Super Mario Brothers 3, because obviously they did this because it's not for resale, because it's a pack-in title. But it comes in the box just like this, with the UPC and everything. But what makes it more rare is if you have the box that actually says challenge set on it, has a challenge set tape on it. So that's just a little tip right there, especially if you're collecting. So if you're collecting boxed Super Mario Brothers 3, I would have one in the challenge set, one without the challenge set tape, one with the challenge set tape. I mean, that's like 3 copies of basically the same game, but 3 different variations of it too. So then we got some other titles of mine that I favored very much. We got The Legend of Zelda. So we got 2 copies of that, but just 2 different variations. We have the gold cart copy here, which actually you wouldn't think it, but this is actually the more common one, and you have the gray cart here, which is the more rare one, which you wouldn't think so. You would visually first think that the gold one was a little more rare, but this was definitely more common. Top is the same in regards to the label. The seal of quality is on both, but they are different. This one is a round seal of quality. That one is a oval one, like the one that there is today, basically. The oval seal of quality. But yeah, the emblem's a little bit different. Everything's arranged a little different. And the gold one says, "Experience the challenge of endless adventure." And then the gray one just keeps it simple and just says, "The Legend of Zelda." So 2 same game, different carts. But yeah, pretty crazy. They had so many differences to these games that you know and love. So, and then we got The Legend of Zelda 2, The Adventures of Link. We have both copies of that as well. We have the gray, more rare variant. Now this one has both oval seals of quality on them, and the Nintendo Entertainment System logos are a little different. Again, the gold cartridge was more common than the gray one. I do like the fact that the gray one has more predominancy on the sword versus this being covered up with not only the logo, which is hard to read the D, but also has this paragraph in front of it, "Another journey of ultimate challenge in the fantasy world of Hyrule." Thought that was a little weird that they try to cover up the sword as much. This one was more simplistic in nature, which would draw my attention, I feel like, more. The top is pretty much the same, but the subtle differences is we have a larger font on the bottom one versus the top one, which has a little bit more of a smaller font. And the blues are a little bit different. The gold cart one has a little bit more of a deeper blue versus a more royal blue on the gray cart version of Zelda. And then let's hop into some black box games that we got here. Let's check it out. We got some 3 screws, and we got 3 screw and 5 screw games here. So we'll separate the 2 of these into 2 stacks. We got 2 stacks here. Now, the difference between a 5 screw game and then you have a 3 screw game. So you got a 3 screw and you have a 5 screw here. That's the difference. And the top is not going to have these little snaps that most common NES games have. They're just going to be flush. So if you're at a gaming convention and you see stacks of games and you're going through, let's say, a stack of 5 games, and you want to know, oh, which one? Let's see if you have there's some rare Nintendo cartridges here. Right off the bat, anyone that has none of these clips on them is going to stick out like a sore thumb, and those are going to be the ones you're going to want to pull and see what they got it priced at. And if they're priced pretty decent, obviously they probably would know what it is, but if it's priced pretty decent, you're going to be able to scoop those up. And they have the same also for regular actual Nintendo games themselves. And then you have the same thing. We have Star Voyager from Acclaim, which doesn't have the clips on top. And then you got the 5 screw. So there are also other titles that have the 5 screw, but out of the visual appearance of these, that's the best way that I can describe how to decipher which one's a 5 screw and which one's a 3 screw, just off visual representation. So out of those, we have, let's hop into this stack right here. We have the solo version of Duck Hunt, Nintendo Golf. We got the original Mario Brothers, the arcade classic series. We have Pro Wrestling, Gyromite, which is used for Rob the Robot. And we have Nintendo Baseball. Now, some of these have the manuals and slipcovers. Some of them do not. But we'll show you what some completed games look like here in a second as we go through the rest of these cartridges. So, and let's see the next one that we got. We have Pinball, the original Super Mario Brothers standalone black box cart right there, Hogan's Alley, We have Rad Racer, not technically a black box, but I keep it in there, sorted with these anyway. We got 10-Yard Fight, we got Kung Fu, we got Wrecking Crew, and another copy of Golf. But this copy of Golf is different than the previous copy of Golf that I showed you. Now again, this one's going to be your 5-screw, and this one's going to be your 3-screw. So we got same game, different cart. Top logo looks more teal, bottom logo has a more neon green. Yeah, obviously you could tell the end cap of the cart has no snaps, and one has snaps. So that's the main difference. If you could see the exact same game in 5-screw and 10-screw comparison, so, or 5-screw and 3-screw comparison, 10-screw. Let's check out some other variants before we start hammering through some pretty sweet titles. Let's check out the Metroid variant, which we got 2 copies of Metroid here. We got the silver copy, and then we have the variant copy of Metroid. So we got full-on artistic rendering of Samus here, and then we have the actual screenshot black box-ish type version right here, the Adventure Series. So top same, just different color logos, but yeah, there's your Metroid variant there. And then we have Pac-Man, which I got the Namco and the Tengen version here. So same game, different publishers, different cartridges or cartridge labels. We have the Tengen version on the right and the Namco version on the left. You take a guess in the comments below which one you think is worth more money. So top version, my Namco one's a little chewed up there, which definitely doesn't help the value on that one. Pac-Man from Tengen is in pretty mint shape, and I got the manual for that one. So, but yeah, that's the difference. Same game, different publishers. Just a little variant. Sometimes you would never know it. Oh, I got a copy of Pac-Man, but it looks different than the one that your friend has. So let's run through some titles. And we got the Tengen version of Gauntlet, which is obviously not like any other title on the NES. So you can obviously tell that this is an unauthorized cart, a non-licensed product. So that's what those look like as an unlicensed product. But we got Skate or Die, and we're just going to grab a whole stack of these. And we've got Bionic Commando, TNC Surf Designs, Track and Field 2, and we'll stack these up over here. We got Blades of Steel, The Rocketeer, and a favorite of mine, Friday the 13th. Yep. Definitely probably one of the first horror games that I got to experience as a child. Don't know if it was a good experience. Definitely didn't beat the game without help from Game Genie, but that's another story. We got Monster Party, another favorite of mine. A superb title to play with Game Genie also as well. Street Fighter 2010, another title that works great with Game Genie. Castlevania 2, Simon's Quest. Really like that title when I was a kid too. Ass Yanks, just a fun game. If you're into that sort of thing, it's definitely a fun title from back in the day. We got Ice Hockey, The Guardian Legend. This is a good one. That's a good pickup. We got Master Blaster, classic. Captain Skyhawk. We can get that back in its sleeve. And then we got the Funko Land Ninja Turtles. The Funko Land sleeve with the Ninja Turtles inside. We got Ninja Turtles 2, the arcade game. Metal Gear, the original, with the Kyle Reese artwork on the front. Pretty sweet right there. One of my favorite games as a child. I used to have a composition notebook with all of the passwords from this game because they were so long, and I had to write an explanation for each one based off where I was in the game and what items I had, so I knew which password to put in to return to that exact moment. It was fun, and it was also tedious as a child to try to remember all that stuff and try to catalog it all. We got Snake's Revenge, the follow-up to it. And let's grab another stack here. Kirby's Adventure. Dr. Mario, Super Glove Ball, the original Final Fantasy, Ninja Gaiden, awesome. We got Tetris, From Russia with Fun, and we're going to go into the last stack here of this pickup, which has Anticipation, another common NES title. We got Mickey's Mousecapade, Silent Service. We got another Mario artwork on the NES Open cart. Crystallis, Deadly Towers, Marble Madness, another favorite of mine when I was a kid to play that one. That was a good one. Jack Nicklaus Golf. And Wizards and Warriors by Acclaim. That's a great title. We have NES Play Action Football. Now I have this complete in the box, and we're going to check this out. So we're going to put this aside for a second. Golgo 13. Awesome. If you can get a copy of that, check it out. Foxanadu. We got Star Tropics. Awesome title. I forget the number code, but there's a code that you need to progress through this game. So if you don't write that code down and at least write it on the back of the cartridge for your own memory, then you're going to forget it and you're not going to be able to progress through the game. But let's check out NES Play Action Football completed in the box. So I have the loose cart and I have it in the box. Now this one is complete. It's got everything the way if you were to go back in time to the 80s, to 1990, and buy this game, this is how it would come. It would have a seal over it, and basically everything inside here is exactly in the same position. So we have the NES game in a slip cover, brand new, pristine condition, and its original slip cover right there. We have the extremely flattened Nintendo poster, which we're going to check out, as anyone who's a fan of old school Nintendo games would enjoy. We have the 4-player 4-action advertisement here, which has all the games here, which are supported by the 4-player games. So, and this is one of those, which is why this advertisement is in this. And that wasn't actually tucked in, that was actually laid flat on the side. Now, the packing material, and here's the best part, something everyone will remember, is the styrofoam insert from the bottom of the box. That's the best part of it all, you know. So in the packing material we have the instruction manual, which most people don't even know that these used to come with games. But yeah, there's the instruction manual. We have some 4-player play cards right here, as you can see there, and then we have an advertisement for Nintendo Power. Danger, do not open unless you're ready to become a power animal. And then we see some kids possessed by demons, or turning into demons, but no, I'm just joking. But yeah, they have a nice advertisement here. Let's see how much Nintendo Power was for. 2-year subscription is $30. 1-year subscription was just $15. So back then, $1 an issue. I mean, you were getting some pretty priceless tips for your money's worth at $1 an issue, just over $1 an issue. And yeah, I mean, I really thought that was the thing. I used to have a Nintendo Power collection back in the day, but I ended up selling them all in the early 90s, or the early 2000s, late 90s, when eBay first started. So, but yeah, that is the boxed NES Play Action Football. So, and then there are a few other things that we had here. Is this Famicom for the family computer back here, the Nintendo Family Computer converter here. So this has a Famicom game adapter on top, which you obviously would take the original Famicom game. This is the original Super Mario Brothers for the Famicom. So this was their artwork, which is really cool, and it probably would have sold more units here in America if we had this artwork on the front of ours instead of the pixelated Mario experience. But yeah, anyway, this end right here goes into the Nintendo top-loading console. You don't want to put this in the trapdoor one because it could get stuck and you have to take it apart to get it out. But you can see the end is very similar to a cartridge, a standard American, U.S. Nintendo cartridge. So, and then this will basically allow you. This is basically like your Honeybee or your the Hudson Soft B adapter. It's basically that. So that's what that is right there for connecting to the NES console. Has some warnings in the back there. Game Genie, obviously, definitely had to have a Game Genie for back in the day. The NES cleaning kit, which is another cartridge-based cleaning kit, which again looked like a cartridge, and it came with these little wipes, which you would basically spritzer on window cleaner at the time, or I used to use alcohol out of my parents' first aid kit, and you would just wipe these little connecting pads which go into your NES, which clean the connector strips inside your Nintendo. So yeah, this is an officially licensed product released by Nintendo. So it was just something that they wanted you to do as maintenance for your console. And the last thing I'll show you is Where in Time is Carmen Sandiego. This is the big box game, double sized to a normal cartridge. That's because it includes an encyclopedia. So this is everything that was included in that. We have the instruction manual. We have a Konami registration. We have a poster, which we'll check out. And the game, Where in Time is Carmen Sandiego, with that realistic scene on the front. And then the New American Desk Encyclopedia. The essential book for any child who's looking to escape the day-to-day and get into some video games. Get into this huge reference book. So yeah, it's really nice. It's basically a survey. It's a survey of an encyclopedia collection, which pertains to you using the clues in there to find Carmen Sandiego. Let's check out this poster here. Be a champion of the world in 16 lethal lessons. So these are all advertisements for Konami games, which we have Tiny Toons, Carmen Sandiego, King's Quest, Contra Force, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Dracula's Curse, Jack Nicklaus, Top Gun, NASCAR, Double Dribble, Blades of Steel, and Super C. Oh, and Laser Invasion. So that was the packing material with Carmen Sandiego. But yeah, it's crazy to think that, like, let's do a pan up here, because I did start. All these games here are all basically now coming in this. So it's kind of interesting how we evolved, but it's also nostalgic to actually get your hands on some of these cartridges. But yeah, all those games are basically in this, and that's not even the amount that are actually in this. There's way more. So it's just kind of crazy that all that is now into this one unit you could just plug into your TV and not have to worry about pretty much any of storage of those cartridges, cleaning each one, making sure they work. It's just nuts, but I do prefer having the nostalgic feeling of loading up an actual cartridge into a video game system. So there is that. So let us know what your favorite Nintendo titles are. Let us know if there's any other things that I missed in regards to some of these variants and other things that I obscurely found with the this Nintendo pickup. So let us know in the comments below. And if you want more content like this, subscribe to our channel. We do retro game pickups, any type of pickups for games on Thursdays. So be on the lookout for that and subscribe for more content. Enjoy the rest of your evening.